are American soldiers fighting for our freedom or fighting for our leaders' politics? That's the question that I don't think a lot of people are brave enough to ask. I think in America, especially where I'm at in the South, there's this concept that if you're not 100% waving a flag saying support our troops, that you're a socialist and you don't belong here and you don't appreciate what our military is doing, then you go somewhere else. But I think in reality, we do need to question things. We do need to ask ourselves the question. Because see, that's what we're being told. We're being taught that join the military and fight for America's freedom so that we keep America a free land. That's the concept, right? We've heard that many times. But what if they weren't actually fighting for our freedom? What if they were fighting for our elected officials' politics? See, no one likes that word, right? I mean, yeah, you've got your political affiliations personally, but no one likes the word politics. Politics seems like a bad thing, because I think in modern day in America, when I think of politics, here's what I think of. I think of somebody won the popular vote, and now these big corporations are going to buy the decisions of that elected official. Yes, they're elected by the people, but they're purchased by corporations who pay them to vote accordingly. So when I think of politics, that's what I think of. So with that being said, it makes me think, well, if our wars are based on the people that we elect and their agendas that we can't even know about, and our government's own agendas that we can't always know about, we often don't know about and never will, can you agree with me for a little bit, even just this much, that we can't assume that when we are fighting in wars or using our military men and expenses and equipment and weapons and all this, when we're using our military and anywhere outside the United States, can we not assume there's a chance that maybe we're not actually fighting for freedom, we're fighting for a political belief? And if we're fighting for politics instead of freedom, then that means that we're ultimately even excusing murder for the sake of politics. Because we want to believe, well, if our soldiers have to kill anyone overseas, it's done to protect us. Yes, murder's wrong. Of course murder's wrong, except in war. Then murder's not wrong because we're fighting for our freedom. So murder is excused by fighting for our freedom. As long as we believe we're fighting for our freedom, then we can kill other people. But what if it's for politics? There was an episode of Black Mirror about this, where they provided U.S. soldiers with basically like this chip in their head that perceived the enemy, that nationality that they were fighting, as these zombies, so that they immediately wanted to shoot and kill them. And then one of the soldiers' chip malfunctioned, and then he saw that these were people pleading for their lives. And so I feel that's pretty true for wars that we've been fighting in. And yes, it's true that Vietnam is the most obvious example of that in hindsight, but I don't think that we've really learned from that. How long have we been fighting in the Middle East, and it's us just staying over there? Is there a possibility that this is about politics? That's ultimately what this is about. It's not about freedom. But America is sold on this concept that, well, we got to stay free. We got to keep ourselves free. But there's a lot of lines drawn, even with drones, right? Once we leave the United States with our military and all that money spent in risking American lives, soldiers' lives for that, am I the only one here who's saying, you know what? Maybe it's not for our freedom. Maybe it's for our politics. Maybe it's for a secret agenda of our government and lobbyists or whatever's going on that we can't know. I just feel that ultimately it's a dangerous, and that's the word I want to use, it's a dangerous thing to assume that whatever we're leaving this country to go fight, that's always the correct moral thing to do, and that any murder involved will be excused because it's war. Because remember, war excuses murder. So the fundamental question we have to ask ourselves, are we really protecting our own physical bodies? our own people because it's us going over there. Is there anyone that's willing to agree with me, or am I some person who's just a crazy radical socialist? Because I'm not, I'm a libertarian. But can we have that honest conversation? Can the internet handle that? Can any part of the world handle this conversation? The concept that maybe we're not fighting for our freedom, maybe we're fighting for someone else's politics. And therefore, it's not seen as murder, it's seen as we're protecting our own. Your comments belong right here.